The night began quietly, like any other Friday. I'd wrapped up work earlier than usual, grabbed some takeout, and was halfway through a basketball game when my phone buzzed. It was a message from my wife, Claire. Flight got delayed. Staying in Chicago. At first, I didn't think much of it. I just frowned and typed back. All right, get some rest. See you tomorrow. But something about her message bothered me. It was too flat, too impersonal. Claire wasn't the type to be vague, especially about travel plans. Normally, she'd call, explain what happened, maybe send a quick photo or joke about the delay. But not this time. I leaned back on the couch, trying to brush off the unease that crept into my chest. Out of habit more than suspicion, I Find My phone. We'd both kept location sharing on for safety reasons. My eyes narrowed when I saw the little blue that was supposed to be in Chicago, sitting in Miami instead. For a few seconds, I stared, thinking maybe the app hadn't refreshed. I closed it, reopened, refreshed again. Still Miami. My pulse quickened. Miami? She said her company's seminar was in Chicago. She'd even sent photos earlier in the week, her at a conference table, name tags, a projector screen. All Chicago. I tried calling her. No answer. Tried again. Straight to voicemail. I sent a message. Hey, just checking in. Everything okay? The message was read almost instantly, blue ticks, but no reply came. That's when my heart sank. It wasn't just that something was wrong. It was that something was being hidden. I poured myself a drink and sat at the dining table, staring at our wedding photo on the wall. Her smile in that picture, confident, full of life, now felt like a stranger's. I kept thinking, the Claire I knew wouldn't lie. Or maybe she always could, and I just never noticed. Hours passed. Near midnight, my phone lit up again. Sorry, phone died earlier. Just getting to the hotel now. The timestamp showed it was sent from Miami International Airport. I checked her location again, still in Miami. I typed back, how's Chicago weather treating you? There was a long pause before her reply came. Cold as always. I'll call you in the morning. My stomach turned. I could practically hear her fake laugh in those words, the same nervous one she used whenever she was caught off guard. I didn't reply. Instead, I took a screenshot of her location and saved it. Something in me broke that night, not from rage, but from disbelief. The kind of disbelief that silences you, that makes you question every memory you thought was safe. When the sun rose, I was still awake. I'd spent the night staring at my phone, replaying her messages, her tone, her lies. At 8 a.m., I texted, "Good morning. How's the hotel breakfast?" 20 minutes later, didn't eat yet. Heading to a meeting. A meeting. On a Saturday. That was it. I wasn't guessing anymore. I wanted answers. I scrolled through my contacts and called Sarah, one of Claire's coworkers I'd met at a few company dinners. Hey, Sarah, I said lightly. Just checking. Did the Chicago seminar end yesterday? There was a pause before she answered. Yeah, it wrapped up yesterday afternoon. Most of us flew back last night. I swallowed hard. Claire too? I think so, Sarah replied, uncertain. She left with a few others, but I'm not sure where she connected from. Why? Just wondering, I said, forcing a laugh. Then I hung up. My reflection stared back at me in the dark TV screen, hollow, expressionless. The truth was no longer hiding. Claire hadn't gone to Chicago. She'd gone to Miami. And she hadn't gone alone. By noon, I called her again. This time she picked up, her voice unusually cheerful. Hey, honey. Sorry I missed your call last night. Everything okay? Yeah, I said slowly. Just curious. How's Chicago? A pause. Too long. Then she said, What do you mean? I told you it's freezing here. I looked down at my phone, at the screenshot glowing on the screen, her exact location pinned on Miami Beach. That's strange, I said quietly. Because your phone says otherwise. The silence that followed was sharp, suffocating. Then she spoke, her voice trembling. Wait, what? No, that must be a glitch. You know how those apps are. I didn't answer. I just listened to her panic rise, the guilt she couldn't hide behind excuses. Then she snapped. Why are you tracking me? Don't you trust me?
I almost laughed.
I did, I said softly. Until last night. The line went dead. Minutes later, 2 texts appeared. I can explain. Then, please don't do anything stupid. I'll be home tomorrow. But explanations were meaningless now. I didn't want to hear her excuses. I wanted the truth, and if she wouldn't say it, I'd find it myself. That night, I opened her laptop, the one she always left logged into her work email. My hands shook as I scrolled through the inbox, and then I saw it. A flight confirmation. Chicago to Miami. 2 passengers. The other name made my heart stop. Ethan Clark. Ethan, her old colleague from her previous job. I remembered her mentioning him, laughing at his jokes, saying, Ethan just gets me. Back then, I didn't think much of it. But now, seeing his name next to hers on that ticket, that was different. Attached to the email were hotel details, 1 room, 1 bed, check-in and check-out dates matching hers exactly. I slammed the laptop shut and sat there in silence. Every sound in the house felt louder. The clock ticking, the faint hum of the refrigerator, the wind brushing the window. My hands trembled, not from fury, but from heartbreak. How long had she been doing this? How many of those late meetings and team dinners were just lies? The next day, she came home. The sound of her suitcase wheels dragging across the floor echoed through the hall. Hey, she said softly, standing in the doorway, sunglasses hiding her eyes. Flight got in early. I looked up at her blankly. From Chicago? She froze, lips parting just slightly as she searched for a lie that might still work. Yes, she said finally, voice trembling. I stood up, handed her my phone. The screenshot of her Miami location filled the screen. Her expression crumbled. Mark, it's not what you think. Then what is it, Claire? I interrupted, keeping my voice steady. Because your flight, your hotel, your companion, everything says Miami. Everything says Ethan. Tears welled in her eyes. It wasn't like that.
We just needed to talk.
It was supposed to be professional. I laughed bitterly. Professional? You booked a king suite with your ex-coworker and lied to your husband about being in another city.
She didn't respond.
Just stood there, trembling. I'd seen those tears before, the ones meant to soften me, to make me forgive. Not this time. I want you out, I said quietly. Tonight. She reached for my arm, crying. Please, Mark, I messed up. I didn't mean for it to go this far. I stepped back. No, you didn't mean for me to find out. There's a difference. Her sobs echoed through the house as she packed her things. I didn't say another word. By the time the door closed behind her, the silence that followed was deafening. And somewhere between her lies in Chicago and her truth in Miami, whatever love I had for her was gone, buried beneath the weight of a trust she'd chosen to destroy.